it differs by appearance. For example, applicants with an MCAT of 27 to 29 and a GPA of 3.4 to 3.59, if you have those numbers and you're Asian, you have a 21% chance of getting into a medical school. If you're white, you have a 29% chance of getting in with those numbers. But if you're Hispanic, you have a 60% chance of getting in. African American applicants had an 81% acceptance with those numbers. In other words, with identical scores, an African American applicant was 4 times as likely to be admitted as an Asian purely because of appearance.
Not slave descendants,
BJ
though.
Choko Ingam knows more than most people about the dark underbelly of medical school admissions. He is of Indian heritage, but he wanted to go to medical school. So he shaved his head and started going by his middle name, which is Jojo. He presented himself as African American. He says it made all the difference and got him into medical school.
Oh, wow.
He has written a book on this experience. It's called Almost Black.
See how dumb niggas
recently. Here's part of the conversation.
Niggas think anybody who got their complexions.
Thank you very much for joining us tonight. So you are convinced, based on your experience, that your race, or what the medical school perceived your race to be, was critical in getting in?
So, exactly like you mentioned, I reviewed the statistical data published by the American Association of
Just
Medical
speak good
Colleges.
English,
I figured out
no matter
that I was
what
much
color
more
you
likely
are.
to get into admission as an African
You
American
get over in
as an
America.
Asian American, so I came up with that scam. That
Third generation, you know.
I managed to get into Washington University, and get waitlisted at Washington University and the University of Pennsylvania, which are the 3rd and 4th best medical schools in the country at the time. And I managed to get into St. Louis University School of Medicine, despite the fact that my 3.1 GPA was dramatically lower than their average.
He can act like a slave descendant
so
now.
my plan paid off much more than I expected.
What does it say about the people who run medical schools that they'd be willing to lower standards for physicians, many of whom, wield scalpels for a living?
Too bad real niggas can't get no medical jobs.
In the name of some abstract diversity goal. That seems reckless.
So as a result of this system, they essentially allow students who are not as qualified as others to get in. Now, I don't want to talk about the end product, whether this results in physicians who are of lower quality, but I will say that it is a system of legalized racism. The universities are promoting, and medical schools are promoting, discrimination against Asian Americans on a massive scale. And it also promotes negative stereotypes about the competency and professionalism of African American physicians and healthcare professionals. It's important to realize that there was a University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign study which showed that affirmative action actually promoted negative stereotypes about African Americans and Hispanic students. So that is
there some reason? Oh, of course it is. Is there some reason that we should care about what our doctors look like? Is appearance critical to practicing medicine?
So, first of all, I never graduated medical school, so I can't say that is. But ultimately, we want to live in a society where you judge someone based on merit. Your race should not be relevant to your ability to practice medicine or anything.
Yeah, okay.
Effectively. That's not the type of society which we want to promote, necessarily.
Yes. Well, I'm sure you've taken criticism for this. I think you're a hero for doing it, and I would love to hear your critics explain exactly what you did wrong, because they can't. Thank you for joining us tonight. I appreciate it.
Indian dude, right? Indian American, but he got dark complexion so he could pass. Y'all want to look up the video? Here you go. Indian student. I said I was black to get into med school. Thing is, they thought he was a, black African, maybe a Nigerian or, some other African. As long as it ain't a nigga. Yeah, we know. I don't give a damn, yo. Fuck. I'm bringing up the truth, man. You go to any hospital in America, guess what? You don't find slave descendant doctors. But guess what? You Find a lot of slave descendants in the hospital getting shot and shit.